I don't know
Where's your
about that.
B team?
I don't think we have a B team. I'm not sure. I don't know.
That's hilarious.
Where is the team names? Team C,
It's
okay.
Fire Nation versus Team C.
All right.
I'll change. Yeah. Right.
All right. So on the side of Team C, they banned Array the Current News and Fire Nation coming right back with a Chung God ban. Banning the Sasano,
And
not
to the
yeah, not banning the Sasano. They do have the first pick, but I don't think they want to deal with it, nor do they want to leave that possibility open if they could get a Bologna instead.
yeah. Being first, it's okay for you to let slip or go for a regular ban type situation where you ban two of them compared to the other team who,
Yeah.
if they screw
Zeus
up,
gonna
let
get
through.
taken away by Fire Nation. Early in the season, Zeus was definitely a top pick. I don't think that was the right choice now as you let Bologna go to the hands of Team C.
Hmm.
Neath going to be hovered on as well as Kepri, a very safe, and the sustain in that lane is going to be pretty hard for them to eat through early game, but not sure how well that's going to work out late game as Neath doesn't have the steroid necessary to be a force to be reckoned with towards the late game.
I mean, the global can really be a big thing
The global can be
anywhere,
good for
any
a
team fight.
secure and an initiate, but her late game isn't on par with gods like Kernanos, who was banned away, a Ho Yi who could get picked, or even a Scotty.
You're definitely right there. What do
One
you think the
second.
next two picks will be here?
Apollo going to be locked in by Trent. Apollo getting popularity as of late, mostly with the PS4 community. I think the AoE on him, the easy stuns, and the attack speed steroid are something that might be a little more easier in a boxing match on the PS4 than maybe a PC. But overall, still a good, solid pick. I wouldn't think to see it in the first round of picks, excuse me. But Trent wanting to get that Apollo locked in for himself.
Hmm. Um, maybe I'm a little tired. Maybe they're looking for the split push potential.
A split push potential. Actually, we already saw a base race early in the season. Had that been Apollo, I think it would have tipped in this favor of. It was the losing team. I forget their name, but it would have tipped in their
Hmm.
favor, and they would have got the 2-0 instead of getting beat later, 1-2.
Yep, that was an excellent game.
Thanatos is going to be locked in on the side. Bologna and Thanatos are a nasty combination, especially in the solo lane. I would hope to see somebody pretty tanky or very sustaining over in solo lane. Yes, Sun Wukong, I think, would be your best bet against those two.
Hmm. Hell mid perhaps or solo
I don't know.
even.
If it's going to be Hell mid, she needs to focus on being safe and making sure that her burst gets online and not dying. A Hell from behind is one of the worst characters in the game, but a Hell from ahead can do good damage and burst.
Hmm. Definitely counter to the Thanatos really for that burst heal she has.
The burst heals that Thanatos has. There's no anti heal on the side of Team C right now. Thanatos, yes, he has burst to help with Hell, but Hell has the potential to stay in a fight longer, especially going against Thanatos. Scotty going to be banned away. I don't think they realized that it was gonna be. They might be thinking Hell in the solo lane, Neath in the mid lane, but I wouldn't think that'd be it.
Yeah, Neith was a popular season 3 mid pick, wasn't she? I haven't seen
Season
her mid
three,
in
but right now
forever.
it is not a double hunter meta. You need strong magical burst in the game, which is what I think the role Hell was fulfilling. And an ability-based hunter is also pretty good. Neath, not one of the best of them, but if they're confident with it, they can use it.
Definitely. Any player that's comfortable with a god can really show you up no matter what the meta is.
I think it's something good to do if you're down, is to pick a god that you're comfortable with, as opposed to a god that you know is good in the current meta. As long as it's not too much of a stretch, like an Artemis or a Shivalunke in most games.
Definitely. Especially if you're confident you can get that first blood and get those early stacks.
A Wheelik's going to be taken away from the from Team C again. I don't think Thanatos is going to be a mid or a solo pick for them. I don't. They could have definitely used that ban somewhere else. Just a little sloppy. I think they're going too fast. You have the bank time, and you have more time to think about these picks and bans before the game. I don't think they've taken enough time to do this. Sylvanas and Vulcan both going to be locked on the side of Team C. Two strong picks, not top tier. Definitely not a Terra, but still providing good sustain and crowd control to combo into the Apollo and Thanatos. And Vulcan gaining popularity as of late, has a big range burst and a good objective control. Mercury going to be locked in on the side of Fire Nation, bringing the late game that they were lacking before in.
Yeah. Um, from these two team comps, what do you expect? Combos, team fight potential? How do you think they're going to fight?
I'm gonna give a team fight to. Well, both teams have a pretty good team fight. A Khepri revive makes any team fight better. You could lose somebody and still bring them back at about half health late game. But Chalk knock up and silence into the relentless auto attacks from Mercury as well as his range stun. I think they're going for a hybrid global and burst comp.
Then for Team C?
Team C, their early game between Bologna and Thanatos needs to rocket forward, and Sylvanas just needs to be around with the sustain. I don't expect him to be soaking up too much damage, as Thanatos' job is to keep the burst on, and Bologna should be able to sustain through the fights on her own. Hopefully, towards the mid-late game, it'll start leaning on toward Vulcan, Apollo, and Sylvanas, while Bologna and Thanatos can just be tanking nuisances in their faces.
What kind of build do you expect out of Bologna? I mean, out of Neath. You think we're going to see a basic build or
I
ability
don't
based?
think if you're going to be using a Neath, you got to build Transcendence and Penetration. She can go an auto attack build, but it really takes away from the potential of her abilities, which all require lots of power to be effective.
And from Apollo, attack speed and crit, attack speed, pen.
If he
and
wanted
crit.
to go, the attack speed build, he could definitely do that. His passive goes hand in hand with that, even overcapping at times, but that's okay. He could as well go a Transcendence attack speed build with a Fatalis and Penetration, as well as crit, a build I like to use pretty often, but he also could go Dev, so anything he really wants to do is on the table here. I just don't expect to see full power and full pen.
And of course, it's going to be interesting to see how the Chalk plays against the Bologna, because right now Bologna is considered his counter. The
Chalk is
high
just
damage and
Chalk is considered to just be the easiest and most overall well-rounded solo laner, able to not really get their butt handed to them by anybody. He does have a hard time against certain characters, but Chalk doesn't outright lose any matchups. One reason why he's very popular among most solo laners to start out, because he's easy to play and he does stand up to a god like Bologna.
but he does fall off in the late game, and Mercury is there for the late game though.
Mercury's there for the late game. All the Chalk needs to do is be a force in the early to mid game, and late game just keep the knockups and silences going, as well as the slows between his axe and his 3.
I'm really interested to see how the Hell will play against the Vulcan in when the team fights are going around.
I
She'll probably
think
have to hard target him.
I think as long as Mercury stays at the Hell's hips, that she can get the clear necessary to get the levels fast enough so she can full clear away. Vulcan's gonna get an advantage, especially with the turrets and his knockback. He can clear away pretty fast and zone control much better than Hell can in the other game.
I expect to see Mercury a lot in the fight going after the squishies. Wouldn't you agree?
Going after a squishy early game, actually, a Mercury's really looking just to poke. You're not gonna ever see a Mercury go 1 versus 3 or dive straight in. He's a very, very squishy jungler to have. A reason that he was frowned upon earlier in the season, that his early game wasn't the best. His 1, it does do decent damage, and it's up pretty often as long as he can keep his distance and poke. And another thing he can do is just a surprise ultimate from way down a lane onto a low health target. He just needs to sneak the kills in early game, and late game, that's when he really needs to focus on getting into the fight and being a force.
No more speculation, folks. We're about to go right on in this. I really expect a good game out of these two teams.
Yeah, looking like Denise actually has plenty of experience, and that kills to wins ratio is pretty tasty. The assist is there too, looking like she uses the ult all around the map, trying to get as much of a force all over the map good, which is something you do like to do as a Denise. You don't have to use it in your lane, and it's not just to finish off a kill. If you could initiate somewhere on the map that you know the rest of your team has the advantage on, it could be very effective.
Definitely. Take a look at that Chalk, baby Chalk there.
He probably just either copied his stats from PC over and only got the masteries and the skins, or he is learning how to play a Chalk, which is a good easy god to learn. It doesn't take very long to grasp what Chalk really can do. There's many in-depth things like comboing, like teleport tactics and such, but overall, if you can get the heal and damage out, you're fine.
Definitely.
I expect Bologna to
think,
try and take advantage of if he is a newer Shock. Bologna needs to take advantage of that. All right, on the side of WKDMT, we have Moshito V2 in the solo lane on Bologna. Trent Dogs in the carry lane, partnered with HK Destruction, sporting Apollo and Sylvanas in the jungle. The Truth 74D. Gonna be helping up Stormjack and Moshito get kills. He's on the Thanatos, and over on the side of the team I can't get to yet because it hasn't loaded. We have Smoke 'em All on Chuck in the solo lane. Brickwall 4187 on Khepri in the duo lane, partnered with E-Boy, Nightmare G on Neath, Crumbs, 8577 in the mid lane with the real Prez as her jungler. Early game, I'm going to expect a lot of work to be done by Neath and Chalk to try and get their lanes pushed up, and Hell, Mercury, and Kepler need to focus on staying alive and keep the rest of their team alive.
Yep. The Kepri and Neath should be able to early clear a lot faster.
The early
than
clear
the
that Kepri,
Apollo.
it's going to be pretty close because, yes, Kepri ability does do a big chunk of damage at level 1 to the minions, but Sylvanas has an AoE auto attacks to start getting those archers pretty low too, and Apollo will be getting his passive up during the first wave. It's going to be close and going to come down to which team prioritizes less poke and more wave clear, or if they can get lane advantage early.
Mm-hmm. And Sylvanas going down the mid lane, probably looking down to throw down his flower.
Yes, popular thing for, and I do it too. I use lots of Sylvanases want to start the heal because they value the early sustain. Plus, they know their AoE auto attacks are effective. But I think having that stun at rank 1 and getting the heal at level 2 isn't bad at all.
It does a good chunk of damage to those back archers.
Yes, every single auto attack they try. They nerfed it recently, but he's still pretty much as good as he has always been ever since release.
Season 3 got really popular to the end. I wasn't sure quite why. I don't remember anymore. But ever since then, he's been a popular pick.
Mage Hunters became a huge force towards the end of Season 3. Frey and Kronos hadn't been played through much, and all of a sudden people realized that they were the best in the game. That's one thing that made it so good. In the mid lane, looking like Truth and Stormjack can be able to get the pressure onto Hell and Mercury. Not a surprise, Mercury and Hellclear not very good at level 1. And over in the dual lane, looking like Sylvanas and Apollo starting to get the advantage. They're clear a little bit better than the Kepri and Neath, but they should be able to get one more ability off and clear the ways for themselves. Don't expect to see them invade here. They're going for it anyways, looking like they're opting not to use any abilities on the side of Fire Nation to clear that wave. Over in the solo lane, there's 3 grouped up. This could be a kill onto Smoke 'em all if Moshido can get a combination off here, but opting just to go back and clear the wave. Big fight going on at the fire. Excuse me.
Go ahead. So just Sylvanas and Neath being, Sylvanas and Apollo being pushed back by Fire Nation. Fire Nation from the red buff they tried to take.
Yes, they tried to go for the red buff. It looked like Fire Nation did respond to that in the end, but coming out healthier is Team C, WKDMT, with a bit more sustain on both sides of the map.
Definitely.
Smoke 'em all poked out in the solo lane. Bologna comfortably able to steal that blue buff. Good job by her not to just go all in for the kill and instead take the small victory she got by poking him out, going and getting a blue buff and slowly starting to get your farm ahead. Shock didn't build teleport, opted for an Aegis instead, so he's going to have to trot back the lane. Mercury very low on health himself, poked out by the harass from Truth, and Vulcan looking like Team C able to get the upper hand in this early game without any kills, able to take farm and keep their lanes pushed up. As I can already tell myself I'm well rested and I'm able to do this very well. Looking like the real Prez is going to be the first one to fall, taking the damage from both the creeps and Moshido V2. Moshido getting the last auto attack to get first blood, going the way of Team C. Good job.
Yeah.
Great to see a Bologna do exactly what she needed to do. It wasn't out of the chalk, just her awareness and her ability to farm was able to find her that kill. Had she stayed in lane, she wouldn't have gotten it.
Yep. Fire creeps are a huge part of solo lane. Whoever gets them typically gets ahead early, and it really affects the whole team.
It also just adds contention, especially for fighting.
Yep. Let's look at the builds. Apollo's starting with Transcendence, it looks like.
Looking like he's going for an auto attack penetration, attack speed build, just a good combination. He could opt to go out of crit and go for more of a tower-heavy build, but if he does go for crit and Transcendence, that also hits pretty hard. If he can get ahead and get that Fatalis online soon, that would be very effective.
Looking at Chalk's build, what do you think he's building into? You think he's building into
right now?
I
think it's going to be a mystical male first item. I don't see any other item that he would opt for. Sovereignty does give good protections in HP 5. The other two aren't really attractive right now. I think mystical male should be his first choice, and if he does get it, it will help his wave clear and to help him keep up with that Bologna.
Yeah, but do you think he should have prioritized it over the boots?
I think he should have went the boots pots, but he does have the ability to restay with his passive to have infinite mana and to keep his heal online. So if he could do that balance it well, I think he has a good shot. Getting his ultimate is Thanatos. He might be going for the ult on the Hell. I don't know yet. Pretty close. If he wants to combo into Stormjack, I think they have the opportunity here. I don't know if they see it right now. The Aegis coming out from Hell, not even close to the ultimate from... Looking like, Real Prez is out of position right now, using his dash to go onto Truth and Stormjack. Pursuing right now is Truth, getting the Sunder out, and with one more ability, he should be able to get it. ulting into the air. I understand he doesn't have the skill threshold, but if he can get down and hit the scythe, he misses it. Real Prez able to get out of that
hitting on the
alive.
Mercury.
Yes, Real Prez unable to get out of that alive. Unfortunate for Truth. Had he just hit that ult or gotten more auto attacks and ability off, he would have gotten it. Moshido having to go back to base.
Yeah, good escape by Real Prez there using his.
It was a good by him just to try and juke and get him out, but he really, in all reality, should have died. It wasn't that hard. His dash was down.
Oh yeah. Well, like we said, the league is growing, a place for growing, and
It's a place for growing. Nothing. This isn't an unprofessional game. It's just I think their nerves are getting them, and they're just being a little sloppy. I also would have liked to see Stormjack stay in. It looking like Truth is going to be in a little bit of trouble here. The Neathole coming out to stun him. Real Prez should be able to get the kill here. Not going to be able to get it. This could in turn be a kill for Stormjack if he can get the last damage on a Mercury, but no, not going to happen. Slivers of health walking around the map right now. WHK just Destruction getting there just a little late to be of any force, but hopefully going to kill his team up and they can stay in. Apollo going for the ultimate in the backline, not hitting enough damage to be able to get that kill there. Low on health himself.
Definitely confident in his ability to get out there, Apollo.
Able to get out, but missing the damage from his ultimate and his first ability. I think that was a kill for him. He just, again, didn't aim his ability for quite long enough to ensure all that damage.
It's definitely surprising to see how many people are nervous.
I mean, Real Prez was able to grab the speed buff. This should help his escape. Good job by him, even with the low health, he's able to get out. But he has some backup. Crumbs doesn't have any mana to heal. I would expect him to go back to base pretty soon. Looking like there's going to be a fight. Destruction not going to be able to go down quite yet as he has the knock up onto Real Prez. Real Prez trying to go for it, not going to be able to get it. The Truth and Destruction both able to get kills, clean off Smoke 'em all, however, able to try and come in and redeem his team a little bit. Looks like he's going to get knocked down himself. He has 3 players trying to go for him right now, actually doing a good job of leading them over and teleporting back to Nightmare, who's there to help him out. 4-1 though on the side of Team C. Yes, 4-1 on the side of Team C. About a 1,800 gold lead on their end. Good job.
What do you think went wrong there for Fire Nation?
I think for Fire Nation they didn't stay grouped. They wound up splitting up and allowed they didn't stay confident enough. They had low health. If they stayed in, I think Destruction would have died before he got the damage off. And had that happened, the heals from him wouldn't have came out. I think it was just close overall. But had they stayed in and been a bit more confident, I think they would have gotten it on their side. Look like Stormjack.
Just thinking out loud here.
Oh, Stormjack able to get taken out by the first ability by Hell. Good job of her by trying to lead him on and hit the first ability. Looking like there could be a little bit more contention. Truth going the wrong way, I think, but able to get the silence out. If he can get a toll, if he can throw his get his scythe to land, he could heal up a bit. Not going to be doing that.
Going back to what I was saying, I definitely think that if the Hell had any mana, the team fight would have gone a little bit differently with the sustain she offered.
Yeah, that is true. Had she had the mana earlier to heal, looking like he's gonna Trent is going to be pursued by Brickwall. Neath able to get the ult and take him out. Another kill on the side of Fire Nation, making silly mistakes by staying in too late and not recognizing that ultimates are online. Smoke 'em all, trying to get a little bit more damage out onto Moshido to get the kill. Looking like Mercury with the pull, but Moshido using his ult to get away. Good job using the ult. Unfortunately, just not clearing the wave as well as Mr. Smoke 'em all. Just missing that ult. Yeah.
Who? Smoke 'em all? Oh, the Chuck.
Yes. Crumbs A577 should be looking to go back to base pretty soon. The Truth in pursuit by both Brickwall, but they're going to back off instead. Members grouped up in order to defend the Truth. Oh, Brickwall getting pulled by Destruction. Looking like this could be a kill for them. Using the Rive to temporarily save his life, but I don't think it's going to work. Actually, a dash might be able to save him. No, looking like Trent is able to get the kill onto him. Good job by him for pursuing and getting the kill with his damage. Destruction staying up against 2 in the backline. Trent trying to deal the necessary damage to get Smoke 'em all. If he can dash in and get a Serenade, this could be a turn. No, just settling for the 1 kill right now. Looking like they might be going to... I would be going to Gold Fury and see if you can't force another fight there. You're a little bit healthier than they are, and Destruction does have the sustain to keep you in.
Also looking at mana, there's a huge difference in mana right now.
Yes. Fire Nation expended much more mana in that situation. Destruction able to get the palm of Real Prez backed up by Stormjack, but not quite enough to damage to kill him, only keeping him out of base for just a little bit longer. Trent able to solo and get more kills out of that purple buff. He's been shooting sideways all game. I think he's a little bit better than we give him credit for. I'm not...
How do you think the Bologna Chalk matchup's been going?
It's been a slap fight so far, but Mosquito, I think, getting the better end of it by a tune of 1,000 gold so far. I think her superior clear, his superior clear on her is very good.
Definitely.
I just want to see Real Prez not die anymore and focus on farming and getting the poke off. I think he's gone a little bit too reckless in these fights, and like I said, getting blown up. He's one of the squishiest assassins in the game. Looking like Bushido and Truth going for him. Just a little bit of effort by Bushido when he already loses about a tenth of his HP.
Dashing away the Chalk and him meet up.
Storm Jack.
I think a quick look at builds. What do you think about Neith's choice on Ninja Tabby?
I actually do it myself. I think on a god without any attack speed steroid or in their passive that has, yes, good ability-based damage, but your auto attacks get out a lot. I think with her between her stuns and the rest of her team, getting more auto attacks out in a congested amount of time is pretty good. I often go Ninja Tab. I think it's a good choice. But it doesn't really matter which boots you build. If you can hit more auto attacks, I think Ninja Tab are the good choice. That overall, you can do more damage.
Definitely.
Plus the mana. The extra 100 mana does play into the Transcendence passive.
What kind of build do you expect to see out of Mercury this game? Do you expect to see early game crits?
Lots of crit, yep. I think maybe a stone cutting sword and some crit. Maybe a Fatalis, whatever he wants to do. Just getting crit online early as Mercury is very well known for doing. Trent Dog all alone against Brick Wall and Nightmare. Looking like he might be caught out here if she can hit the stun. Yes, Trent Dog able to use the Serenade and not quite dashing away yet. Using his Aegis to avoid and break himself from the CC and any damage. And the 3-man group up versus the 2-man group up, both teams opting just to back off.
Good disengage by WK and KDM.
Just realizing that the fight could have prolonged a little bit longer and risky on both sides too. Real Press able to get the pull, but paying for it with a bunch of his health. His beats is down. Destruction looking like he's gonna go down to the auto attacks of Nightmare G. Unfortunate for them. A double kill, actually able to pick up the Thanatos, who I think landed his ult, but just got blown up by them. Good job. Looking like they're going to start aggressing on the tier 2. They have 4 members grouped up. The auto attacks coming through. The tower not taking too much damage. I think they're just going to back off. Real Press taking the tower aggro now at only about 30% HP.
Oh yeah. Those tower shots early game are just lethal. No way around it.
As well as the minion damage too. It's good to just let your support take that damage. I think they just made a mistake there.
If you were them, would you have just gone for Gold Fury?
I think yes. I would have went for Oracles or Portal Demon. Portal Demon a bit squishier. I probably would have opted for that. It is still early game and they're respawning pretty soon. But whatever their call was, they could have go for it.
What went wrong for WK DMT there?
For Destruction, I think just Destruction got caught out of place. I don't think anybody told him to go in, and he thought that he might have had the backup, but it wasn't there.
I'll take a quick second and look at Ward's place. Sylvanas with 4, Bologna with 4, and Fire Nation only with 3 total.
Yes, Mercury the only one building. I think that's going to be a big fault, especially coming towards this mid-late game as they start to grow up and try and find picks. If they don't have the wards there, they're not going to be able to keep up with the rotations that Team C will be able to put out. An advantage they can take to... An advantage they could use to their will.
Apollo down in left lane as he ults to get away.
I think he ulted to get away because he knew the Neith was rotating. I don't think he needed to, but just playing extra safe is something not to fault him for.
Definitely
over
not
the duo lane,
for
looking
good,
like
good
Smoke'em might be able to be taken out by Destruction and his damage. Thanatos wasn't going for the immediate ult because he thought the teleport might come out in time on the end of Smoke'em, but it didn't, and Destruction got the kill instead. Good job by Mosquito.
Definitely. Definitely seeing in the solo lane, the Chalk holding his own against the Bologna. And
this is the best that he can. He's only,
it's
the best he can. Like I said, that mystical mill I think is starting to even the game. Even with the gold disadvantage, he's dealing the damage necessary to keep up. Looking like Truth,
tower poke as it goes down.
he got the tower poke, but looking like between those two, oh, the Neith ult might be what it takes to take him out. No, just a sliver of health remaining.
Neith not with Bluestone, so no chance of that.
No, not even the Bluestone prop, but I don't fault her for getting the Death Toll. It's just really good sustain right now, especially since the changes.
Mercury going in.
Mercury actually going down to Mosquito. Mosquito able to deal I'm missing everything. Oh my gosh, over yeah, over in solo looking like Real Press going down and Truth going down, just a trade for junglers.
Hmm?
Stormdeck having to back going to his tier
Wait,
2
who got him?
It was the Kepri. Brickwall was able to grab Truth. Yes.
Superman Kepri.
I would expect Crumbs to look towards backing here. I know you can sustain, but you don't want to eat up all of your mana. Plus, you have the mid laner not there yet. Nightmare able to get the last hit onto the red buff that Trent tried to take. Looking like Trent is in big trouble here. Able to dash away. They might be able to pursue. Juking. He didn't need to juke. Just walk in a straight line and get out. Destruction there anyways to give him the heal and a little bit of heal. Gotta be careful. Truth and Stormjack also showing up. It's a 4 versus 2 advantage right now. They could be taking a little bit too much damage, but both of them able to get away nice and clean.
Yeah, definitely.
Trent just chilling out. And
yeah, but especially looking at the golden hand for Hell, she should be back in the scene with 1850 in golden hand.
I sure hope Trent didn't DC because he was standing there for a pretty long time. He might have.
There's a 2-minute pause if he has DC'd. Probably waiting for an item, perhaps. We haven't seen any DC yet.
Nope, he's here. Never mind.
Getting himself first tier Iqbal.
Looks like he's going for the.
Is this the time? Yeah, the attack speed.
Actually, I don't like Iqbal with Transcendence simply because you already have the power that you need. You just need to build penetration at that point as well as attack speed. So I think Iqbal, yes, provides 10 penetration and a bunch of attack speed, but I think Executioner or Aussie would have been better there for him, especially for the sustain from not having Devourer's Gauntlet. Mashido, the ult going on to him from Neath, but with the Mystical Mail protection is not going to do that much, I don't think, and only taking away a sliver of his health, getting hit by a little bit of poke. Had he teleported in and went for possibly an ultimate, that could have ended his life.
Over in dual lane, there's the Vulcan ult. Neath Sanctuary.
Nightmare missing Nightmare, but able to land on the Crumbs, taking a good chunk of damage, sticking with his destruction, trying to see if he can't get the CC in combination off. Trent ulting in, going for the damage, but Brickwall with a meditation, trying to sustain his team for a little bit longer, but Trent able to finish him off regardless. Asunder out onto Brickwall. Looking like they might be going down here pretty soon if the combinations come off. The big heal from Crumbs is going to keep them alive just a little bit longer. Good fight overall.
With the body blocks.
Yes, good fight overall by WKDMT, but not quite enough to get more than just one kill. Grouping up here, they should be going. I think they may be going for the Gold Fury here, and the Gold Fury call has been made. The Truth going around just looking to make sure the enemy team won't be contesting. Trent showing up to give the necessary damage that a ADC does provide for it. At about half health right now is the Gold Fury. Brickwall is there to try and contest, looking like nothing so far from him has been effective to get them off of it. I don't know if he has anything up to steal from it. And the Gold Fury going to go the way of WKDMT. Dashing in at the last second. I think a bad call by him. Brickwall, yes, getting pulled and damaged out. Not quite enough so far. Using the cleanse from Hell to relieve himself from the stun. Able to get out. Good job.
What do you think? What do you think of the Gold Fury call there? Right decision, or should they gone for Portal Beam instead?
Perfect. It was a fine decision. Brickwall, the only one there to contest, and having the damage between Thanatos and Truth, Trent, and Stormdeck on Thanatos, Spall, and Vulcan, enough to be able to do both damage to the Gold Fury and anybody that tries to come and contest. 2 towers, 3 towers so far. Yes, the 3 towers just went down on the side of Fire Nation, losing them, and WKDMT starting to get a big gold advantage here.
Looking at the builds again, Bologna building Pestilence just to counter that Chalk after having built.
Yes, both to take out the Hell's heal, the Neath heal, and the Chalk heal. Very good pickup. Looking like a 3 versus 3 engagement. Fire Nation on the upper hand. Brickwall able to get 1 kill with the pull. Mashido trying to get as much damage out. But with the backup with Real Pez, he should be enough to get a couple of kills here. If I can get onto the right people. Good job by Smoke 'em all to get the kill onto Moshido.
WKDMT walking away from that one, not as
Destruction not taking them seriously enough, walking in and getting baited out, getting killed. Unfortunate for him. And traveling as a group of 5, going to mow down and get their first tower of the game and try and even up this objective game as well as the gold.
Chop looking for that portal game, it looks like.
Only down by about 2,300 now from an 8,000 gold lead that the WKDMT had previously.
Definitely difference in the gameplay. It seems like the team fights are starting. That Fire Nation's team is starting to come online. Just their guys in general.
Slowly but surely, they are. I think the biggest disadvantage they have right now is Hell only have 1.5 items online, but the stacks are building up for the thought that as soon as she gets what I would assume is penetration boots online, she should be hitting pretty hard. But I wouldn't blame her for going cooldown either, as her heals being online more often become much more useful.
How do you feel about the Book of Thoth build on her instead of going for a Rod of Asclepius?
Well, Rod of Asclepius doesn't usually come online until the 5th or 6th item, so I don't think it would have been a good call to go for it. I think the Book of Thoth first item, I don't particularly care for, but a third or second item, usually pretty popular, and I would agree with it.
Mercury, look at this, not building into crit, building into lifesteal instead.
I think, yeah, the Bloodforge is going to come online, find power, and actually now he starts the crit, getting no attack speed yet. This is where I disagree. I think the attack speed would have been a bit more useful, especially with his second ability, the Steroid, coming online too. Destruction looking like he's going to force out the Aegis from Nightmare, getting a slow and a pull. If Trent can get up there fast enough, there should be a kill on his end, and WKH Destruction able to get a kill with his heals. And Moshido over in the solo lane, able to get a kill onto her, his counterpart, a pull from the Truth, able to keep the Truth from running away. Real Press trying to go for the kill. Trying to go for the kill. If he gets his first ability online and hits it, it should be one for him. Maybe not the heal. No, not quite. Just a sliver of health left. The Real Press very low on health. Able to run away for now. The Hell dealing as much damage as she can. Moshido on her tail. If he can get up there, there should be a kill on his end. The heals reduction is online. No, getting poked.
That's where the
very little mana
would have come into effect.
Yes. Moshido, three members of Team C able to find Brickwall out of position, able to get the push away. His revive going to be able to temporarily keep him alive. Hopefully they still have the crowd control online to kill him, and taking too much turret damage. Brickwall going to go down to the credit of Moshido.
You think it was a good idea for him to put his ult on them, or should he just save it?
I think he wasted his ult. I think he realized that he was dead, just wanted to see if his team could respond. But had he held on to it and had it online by the time he responded, I think that would have been a better choice.
Take a moment to look at Trent's split push into the left lane, into the Phoenix, like we were talking about earlier.
Yes, good job by him to get a great opportunity to split push, as well as an opportunity to ult back after forcing their players over to the left lane, ulting all the way over to the right lane and grabbing the portal demon before they have time to even think about walking over there. Good job.
Just looking at the wards placed, it's a huge difference in forward awareness. Only 6 having been placed by 6 by Mercury, meaning there's only ever 2 wards up on the field for Fire Nation at any time.
Absolutely. The farm game definitely going the way of Team C. The big difference right now is 2 levels between Mercury and Thanatos, as well as the where's the big level? I think that's the only level difference, more than 1. The 2 levels between Thanatos and Mercury, keeping Mercury down in gold too. Thanatos still on top of them enough to have his base damage as well as his percentages be very relevant.
Taking a quick look at
a little bit of
Mercury,
poke onto Trent. Crumbs looking like he's going to go down again. Like I said, the burst is still just a bit too much from the Truth. Going to be ulting for the kill just after the Chalk decides to ult. Aegis coming up for Crumbs. The Aegis able to mitigate that damage unless he missed it, which I didn't see because it lagged. But if he can just get the Death Soul, or the Scythe, which he does, getting a kill onto Crumbs. A good job by him, recognizing the burst potential he has. With backup from both Destruction and Moshido, looking like they're going to get the second kill onto Knight. The bleed from Destruction on the Sylvanas. Able to secure that over in the left jungle. Trent able to get that kill onto Brickwall. Sticking onto Smoke 'em All is Destruction, but not having anything to back it up. Good job all over the map. All over the map, able to take control and get the kill necessary. Real Press caught out. Moshido able to get yet another kill. The Bellona is big. Truth able to get a kill himself. No, the teleport going to save Chalk temporarily, but I think the bleed from Destruction might be enough to get that kill. No, Aegis coming through to save it. Moshido looking for just one more. Good job by Moshido using the bludgeon and hitting it.
Oh, I was a Chalk out there, out of tower.
And at the same time, getting Gold Fury. The objective game is strong, and 8,000 gold lead so far.
Why do you think Chalk came back out of tower? He had gotten away once, I believe, right?
I think he just, I don't know. I think he's just trying to keep them from going into the tower. Not sure.
Going into game 2, what do you expect out of Fire Nation to change to be able to get the win?
I think they're gonna. I think they're going to refrain from picking Mercury. Clearly, it isn't ready yet, as the decision making by him isn't very mature. Dashing in right there, an example of the things you shouldn't be doing against a team that can burst you down so easy. I would hope to see him on a Hunbats, or if they can slip in a Sasano, that'd be fantastic. A god that's better in the early game and not have to worry so much about the late game.
And Bologna working on that right tower there.
Yes, Bologna far enough ahead right now. I think she could go versus 4 people and stay alive as long as that bludgeon and that hammer keeps her up and the damage comes through. Such a great overall character.
Yeah, definitely. I believe that I once read a profile on the person that made her, and reading it, it said that the person who made it wanted a god that would force you to adapt to her.
I think that'd be true, especially with the weapons being able to change. There's many things that she can do, and her ultimate having such a big impact in the late game. The damage from Vulcan able to put Real Prez into the execute threshold that the Truth rightfully follows up on. A little bit of damage coming out of Smoke'em on his ult, but Crumbs getting caught out in the backline. One Thunder hitting, the other missing. Crumbs on just 1 Slayer of health. Stormjack able to hit, the ability to clean up Crumbs so far, starting to tip in their favor heavily. Almost a 10,000 gold lead.
Looking at the Mercury build, he actually sold the beginning of crit to go into weapon only as soon as Hasten Fatalis.
I think at this point he's just trying to see if he can't find another way into the game other than crit. I don't think crit's going to work against a team that's already so tanky with the items online by destruction as well as the heals and sustain. If he can just be a nuisance, he might be able to make more of an impact, but nothing right now going on as his ult doesn't seem to hit effectively. Looking like Trent might be able to get poked out, but will be poked up by Smoke'em on the damage. But looking like this Team C recognizing they do have the advantage in the advantage as well as the damage. Machito getting the kill onto Real Prez. Thorns came out for Smoke'em, not going to be enough. The Truth doesn't need to worry about it, able to get 1 kill. Nightmare, Machito getting a triple kill, taking out 3 characters on their side. Only 1 standing. If he can go in quick and get a quadra, that'd be pretty great. But happy with the triple kill.
Oh, and
just 1 more kill, an unofficial quadra kill, a deicide Machito. Showing you why Bologna needs to be banned.
Definitely shows you why she needs to be banned. If we expect to see
blindly going in, Brickwall, the burst is just going to be too much again. The revive most likely going to be ill used on his end if Machito, no, actually giving him the movement speed to get out.
Your Titan is under attack.
Yep. Good play on Kempi's part to get out.
Yes.
What would be the respawn timer for him at this point? What level is he? 13? Or something around like 40
yeah, the
to 30
respawn
seconds.
timers are still pretty long considering it's at the 26-minute mark, but they don't have to worry too much about getting deicited before, but now they have to make sure that people are alive at all times, as at any time if Team C gets 1 more deicide with a 12,000 gold lead, nobody can stop them from going and taking out their Titan.
Bologna and Sylvanas taking Portal Demon while Vulcan backs off of Fire Giant.
I think they're going to grab the Portal Demon, go back to base, heal up, grab items, then go rush down the Fire Giant and go try and just end this game. 26 minutes long, you have the advantage. You have the biggest advantage you've had all game, time to end.
Fire Nation won't have any idea that this is going on, even with the wards placed. Oh, Mercury having warded there actually.
Yes. With 3 members grouped up on TC, I'd be very careful with Real Prez. Don't charge up the ult. Don't even look like they're going to go in because they're going to aggress on you.
They should be looking for that clear right now to catch up in levels.
Yes.
Brickwall
trying to get the pull on the machine.
Choice to go.
Destruction able with his bleeds again, able to get the kill onto Crumbs using a meditation to keep Brickwall alive, but I'm going to go down to the Truth. Damage coming out of the Truth. A team fight falling apart for Fire Nation. Only 3 characters sticking around so far, and Real Prez trying to get away, not hit with the Sunder, able to dash away anyways. Sunder, you just wasted there, but not worried about it right now.
What do you think about the Capri's choice to go Stone of Gaia?
Almost getting the kill is the Truth. Machito divine in this game, coming online and in full force. Previously getting almost a quadra kill, but right now going 9 kills straight. Good job on his end. Actually getting chunked down here is WKDMT. Not going to go down as anybody yet except for Stormjack. But Smoke'em all going to get taken down. The Truth doing the necessary damage to do that. Unfortunate for Stormjack, he had to go down. But if they can keep the advantage and the push going up there in middle lane, they can keep their advantage. Looking like they're turning their sights towards Gold Fury, or at least the Oracle now.
a good idea on their part, just to get even more gold.
Yeah,
Finish off
dropping the
any items
damage
they
buff
have.
for his team is the truth. Maybe Apollo can run up there and grab that before he goes back to base. Before he
Quick
excuse
second
me,
to talk
before he
about the
spawns.
builds. Kepri with the Stone of Gaia. What do you think?
Uh, I mean, it's not sovereignty, so I don't. I mean, I think he's doing it just to get the extra sustain for himself, but a Gauntlet of Thieves are fighting 400 of health, protections, as well as 15 HP 5 would have been a much better choice to start out with right after the cooldown boots. A Gauntlet of Thieves being the choice by Sylvanas, and him with being involved in 18 kills and only dying 3 times, making good use out of the protection that he has online. That's actually the build I personally use for Sylvanas. Every single item but the Watchers gets in that boost gives his team protections and gives them health. Gives his team protections to the tune of 100.
Do you expect to
So,
see Shogun's Corsair on him soon?
I don't think it's necessary. I think Trent has all the attack speed he needs between his passive and the 3 attack speed items he has right now. But if he wanted to, he could. He can build whatever he wanted last item, and I think they're going to roll their way to victory.
WKDMT taking a quick gold clear there.
Yes, doing the Cold Fury, just trying to keep Fire Nation from having any opportunity to come in and take their lead and keep it pushing forward. Mashido getting yet another kill onto Real Press, sticking with it. Crumbs getting taken out by a long-range ult by Storm Deck. And Smoke 'em all. Getting knocked up by the Blink ultimate combination. Destruction getting another kill on the Sylvanas. Good plays overall. Early game, nice and slow, but late game doing everything they need to keep Fire Nation on their heels. Having a tough time to... Apollo was able to take out the left Phoenix, looking like he might be able to get the mid Phoenix here. Probably going to have to back out as the minions are blocking his auto attacks. Actually, just going for the Titan at this point is WKDMT. I think this is the right call. They have the burst. Getting taken out is Moshido, but 12-2 antennas on his end. This game was his.
Definitely a rampant Bologna all over the place. He was a huge part of his team's effort to win the game.
Yes, I think he just got lots of bludgeons and plenty of AoE auto attacks, going for a chin size there to capitalize on that damage. Plenty of defense and great damage coming out of him, and a huge force in almost every single team fight. All right, that's good.
That's gonna be game one.
All right, that's gonna be game one, going to Team C, WKDMT, out of the hands of Fire Nation. Hopefully we'll have a little bit more effort by Fire Nation next game and see if we can't get another game, another 3-game set to start out the day. For myself, anyways, I'm sure games have already been happening.
Yeah, just one game so far. We have another game tomorrow. Back.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and shut the stream off. We'll be back for game 2.